passage. You should film now, dude, in case they like.
We are.
Are you filming?
Wow. We're taking our stuff.
So making the passage.
Oh yeah, should we talk about it?
What's your question?
Like, how did the rehearsal process, or like how did the ball get rolling?
I think it all kind of started. That'd be really funny though. That's like all the questions were answered underwater.
Well,
How do you guys know each other?
I have no idea. Good question.
Yeah, well, it was just like he's like, hey, that first question's not really working. He's like, maybe I should start with something more simple for this guy.
Zoom out.
It's like a really boring answer.
Yeah,
It's like,
Yeah, it's not like we met on like a chairlift.
It's not like we were like, oh, dude, it's like our agent set us up. Writing it was very interesting because so much of it was, obviously there's no dialogue really.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a workshopping. We sort of just like workshopped the beats and sort of arrived at things.
Yeah, it wasn't very written, you know. It was more like getting it up on its feet, doing, and having Kitao play some of the other people or me play some of the other people. So it was just like playing around and then like, oh yeah, okay, let's do that, you know. And it not being spoken on my part didn't require any kind of real writing.
It immediately made me think of a Carlos Regatas film called Post Universe.
Oh my god, dude,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just in a film with him.
No way.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just acted in his last film. I actually have to send some voice stuff over there, and after
really?
this I'm going down to Mexico to do some voice stuff with him.
No shit.
That's so funny, yeah.
So was that part of the thinking though? Like, what's the?
I had just seen a lot of his stuff and was like,
Which is something that we kind of resonated. 'Cause
Yeah.
like, we both individually kind of talked about Regatas and like that sort of. We had a lot of spiritual references, and like that was definitely
that was
one of them.
That was definitely one of them because
Yeah.
he does these like really long, slow shots.
Yeah.
That are really fun, and then Anderson.
Roy Anderson.
Roy Anderson was a huge influence.
Yeah.
You know, like we wanted to try to get things as like, still camera wise as possible.
It was kind of simple. It's like I think that, I do a show called the Eric Andre Show, which is like very like maximal comedy, and it's like super, like throwing everything at the wall kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think working with Phil, I learned so much about staying with like one idea and like one joke, and not, and sort of like doubling down on a single premise and letting it like blossom into something that's like much, much richer than like a multitude of ideas.
And just trying to stay with like one thing as much as possible. I think that was like also in the sandwich scene, where like it was okay, I'm at the park, and then our original idea was like, okay, I'm at the park, and then we do these things with chicken wings, and this bird comes in, and then something flies away, and then we had like all these ideas.
All these beats,
Yeah, and it was like, why not just stay with one thing and take that as far as we could. And
Right.
that was,
My favorite beat in that scene is like you register her reaction between everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
regain, register, and then you do it again.
Yeah.
Was that
That's very like technically almost how you do clown in live.
Yeah.
You do something and then you check in with the audience, and then you do something and you check in with so you drop what you're doing. You drop what you're doing. You drop the act. You just look at the audience and you're with the audience.
Was there a destination in mind for the passage, or is it just the passage, the journey?
Oh, you mean like in the story?
Yeah, like was there
Well, sort of. I
Yeah.
don't really know how to
I think that came
talk
later.
about it. Yeah, I mean, like for us, it was just sort of like this sort of like eternal quest, like.
Yeah, we weren't thinking like, okay, this needs to happen now because later this thing is gonna happen. It was all just like, oh, this would be so rad if it happened in this moment, so let's just commit to that. And like, so we had this leaf blower guy, and we were never thinking like, who is he, or what does he represent, or where's he gonna reappear in the future. It was just like, oh, this would be a perfect opportunity to throw the leaf blower in. Let's throw him in.